this journey we'll be travelling from Albany, Western Australia to Adelaide in South Australia, approximately 7,000 kilometres return. Now, and of course it's thirsty work, man's got to stay refreshed.
Oh, yeah. What good boys are we? This is all we'll be drinking for this bottle.
From zero alcohol, see?
Yes, but look at the rest of them.
They're bribery on the way. Yes, we're delivering.
So the funny thing is we've got a lot of space on board, and we do. I mean, all my stuff's in there already, and I've still got room spare. But at the same time, though, I sort of feel like I need homes for everything, and yeah, not so easily done.
Well, I've only got one bag.
So all his gear. He's got a sleeping bag, his clothes bag,
And a couple of pair of shoes. Wear one and one to take.
So he's sorted. So we've got first aid kit, we've got supplies, we've got our fridge going, and so forth. And yes, that mattress doesn't look all that brilliant, but once we arrive, that comes out, goes in the tent, and we're sorted.
Trust me, I lay on that for a while. It'll flatten out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's all good. Okay, so that's it. I mean, because we've still got plenty of room in here.
Shh. Sure as shit, you say they could fill it with something.
Well, the thing is, I do want to put a water bottle on board. So
Camera gear.
Yeah.
Taking your flying camera.
Yes, it's already in there.
That's the other thing I'll bring down.
And the camera that Marina's holding onto right now, I'll take with me.
I'll bring my pie trod.
Yeah. You see how if you hold it the way you just were, it wobbles, but if you hold it like this, it won't wobble. Yes, here's our camera crew. Unfortunately, she's not coming with us, so we'll have to do our own camera work. So there'll be an awful lot of this sort of stuff, you know. Yeah, and an awful lot of that sort of stuff.
Sorry, was I in shot?
Yeah. So.
So when are we leaving?
Well, I suppose
before we arrive, I suppose.
I suppose whatever time in the morning
you pick me up.
Okay. In that case,
no point me bringing the car down here when I can leave it locked in my shed.
You're quite right. I mean, the only reason we're leaving Nigel the Nissan on the front lawn is because it'll look as if someone's here, and therefore we won't get broken into while I'm gone. I would hate. Yeah.
That's why I want to leave mine locked in the shed, because there's been breaking into vehicles around my area.
Okay, we can't have that then.
We've made our first stop, and here's Glen doing some housekeeping and preparing for the first coffee of the day. Well, of the trip. The boys are in their comfort wear, because we both believe in comfort first. And yes, that is him filling from the tank, so it's good old Albany water. But here we are, one of Glen's preferred camping spots.
This is the Palingup River. It is one of my preferred campsites. Yes, we're both talking to the cameras. It's bizarre way to make a film.
This is Glen doing a bit of filming, because Glen Djokovic.
And where's my cake?
Your cake is in the oven.
Back there, burning.
Yeah. Look at him. Here he is, proud as Glen, driving along in his beautiful F 2.5.
Hey?
Oh. He couldn't afford the full 250. We're just out of Jerramunga, and isn't it absolutely stunning?
And just over there is the farm we stayed at when we were doing Hope in a Boat.
Ah, there's a monster in the vehicle. But he's having fun. I'm going to use the phone to film this because I can actually point the phone at it. Oh, sorry about the roughness, but their bypass road's not the smoothest road on the planet. Rightio, Glen.
Oh, that's my birthday cake.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Where's my candle?
It won't fit enough candles. Happy birthday to you.
That's a pretty heavy muffin.
Yes, it didn't have a candle, but it seems to be going down quite well.
It's actually savoury.
Mm. Oh, well, I wasn't going to waste time on that horrible chocolate or anything.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, those of us who could be diabetic will be thankful.
Those of us who are working on it, you reckon?
What makes this significant is this used to be known as the Commercial Hotel. This is my mother's house, believe it or not. This is where my mother grew up, and we're going to sneak upstairs and see if we can get a bit of footage up there. But yeah, my mother lived here, which they owned this place. So. Yeah, I reckon from this corner here, guy, just pan around. Don't do that. Did you enjoy that? No, not at all. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Though I would have just... Oh, that's the Freemasons. Yeah, so in 1916, Francis Alexander Fallows purchased the Commercial Hotel. He had been living in the area some time and was known to have an interest in the Bulrush mine. Now, of course, the history books go on at length about the Bulrush mine. But they also owned another hotel in Hopetown. But if we go down through the names, here is my mother's family here, and there's my mother.
Put your finger on it.
Right there, there's my mother right there.
Okay.
So, but yeah, Ravensthorpe looked very different back in it. Oh, here it is on opening day. Yeah, quite a good turnout. Hmm.
Second walk down here.
You can do whatever you like.
Okay. Here we are, so about 18 minutes to 1, and we are leaving Ravensthorpe after having done what a man needs to do. Okay, Glen, you're a bit of a silhouette, but are you enjoying yourself so far?
Well, yes, I suppose, since all I've been doing all day is driving, and it's what I do. So, it's all good.
is where we're setting up our first camp for the trip, and I think it's rather nice. Glen's camped here before, and we have a fireplace here. Glen's just checking out the wood situation, and here he is now.
Yeah.
Camp 1.
Obviously I've got confused with my priorities because the first priority should have been getting a beer.
He's now fired.
Yes. Yes. I'll light the fire shortly, then I'll be fired. So, here we have a portable fire which we travel with, and anyone who knows how we travel know that we travel with portable fires. They're a very good idea. However, the firewood in this particular area is completely and utterly gutless. So it's going to be very challenging to build up a bed of coals. So anyone who's seen any of my previous films knows that one of my favourite tricks is to gather up coals from other fires. And you'll see here I've got quite a collection of coals which I've gathered up from other fires. And this fire is going quite well. So if I just throw those in there, that means that now we'll build up coals quite quickly. And yet in reality this wood is so gutless, we otherwise wouldn't have been able to build up the coals at all. All we'd be doing ultimately is just throwing more and more wood on. We'd end up having to cook on the flames. But now we'll actually build up coals. So we shall be cooking shortly.
After day 1, how do you think it's going so far?
Well, I think we've done very well. I mean, considering we've been in the car all day, I don't feel knackered. I have to admit it's a very comfortable vehicle. You've been sitting in the vehicle with your knife belt on and Lord knows what, all your camping gear strapped to your belt. You've not been uncomfortable either.
No.
So we put in a good solid day. We started in the wee hours of the morning, 7 o'clock. We headed off, and we're at campsite at a reasonable time. This is what I like to do, is to get here at a time when it's still daylight.
We would have been here before 4, I
Yes,
reckon.
perfect for beer o'clock. And if we can cook the meal before dark, that would suit me down to the ground. I'd be very happy with
Well, I've finished mine. Here's Glen finishing off his breakfast. The coffees have been drunk. The tent's been packed. The chairs have got to be put away. And my mattress has to be put away.
Yeah. We're just going to move the vehicle forward, then we do those things.
Little house cleaning. Hey presto. What a wonderful day. Why would you want to be in a city? Glen's moved the vehicle forward because we had to get into the left-hand side. As you can see, we've left the area nice and pristine clean.
That's the one thing that ruins a perfectly good campsite is people are taking to the city. All this rubbish around here, do it, otherwise you get fantastic.
Should I go and film some of that rubbish? Sure. Stick it on top of the bed. Not holding your mouth right. It's just that you're wearing the wrong skirt this morning. Put on top of the mattress. The way you've been driving, it'll still be in exactly the same place when you arrive. Because his driving skills are actually quite good.
He's only saying that because he doesn't want to be killed.
For a girl, I mean, yeah. It's move your right hand. I just pushed stop record and I had to push it start again. They're under the vehicle and everywhere. Well, we've done it again, Glenn.
What have we done again, Guy?
We've had an afternoon coffee. And now we're on the road again. But look at the beautiful countryside, Glen. Oh, there we go.
What lands my heart is we're very close to South Australia. We're about 200 km from South Australia, but once we get there, we've at least achieved that much. No, I'm not standing in a hole. This really is how big this vehicle is, but it's extremely comfortable.
And one fireplace.
First order of business for me is to check to see if the battery's charged up. And it says 100%.
Hooray! Okay, so first order of business for him was his computer being charged. Now for the real work is in here. He likes doing things backwards.
Let that cool down now a bit, and then
We've got the grate beside the fire. No, I would say
yeah, that's fine. But that was
What do
still
you
too
want?
hot to handle.
still too hot to handle.
But I have my secret weapon. It's a fire poker.
The poker of the fire.
And then I can now get this one out as well. And now we have an instant fire. We cheated with this fire. We've done something that we've done before where we already had our meal cooked on our normal fireplace, and literally what we've done is we've tipped the hot coals directly onto wood which we'd collected during the day. We made a little fire and just piled the wood on, piled the hot coals onto it, and now we've got a fire. And this has literally only been minutes, but what a lovely fire! Very, very good campfire.
We've just started the western end of the treeless plain.
There's a tree.
There's the whale. haven't seen green for so long.
Quarantine station dead ahead.
It's one way of putting it.
In South Australia, they when you slow down to 25, 60 initially.
What?
This one's afraid of, tried to save the battery now, but it wasn't enough. If you come up too fast, the orange lights start to flash even faster.
Right, so you just want me to get them coming out?
So today's the morning of day 4. This is a campsite I've been looking forward to coming to because it's quite unique in that we were able to camp under cover. And considering guys in a tent, that'd be quite a good thing. Unfortunately though, when we pulled up to the campsite yesterday, we discovered that we had a problem with the wheels. So today we are not in any particular hurry. We're going to keep moving as best we can. But there's no point rushing because it's a weekend and we can't get it fixed until Monday. So we'll just plod along. We'll find another campsite, and it won't be as good as this one, but there's probably no point staying here for another day. So anyway, we'll continue on.
As you can see, Glen's listening out for the noises we're suddenly getting from the vehicle, which are not normal noises.
Now at the moment we are experiencing audible warning that the wheel bearings are dry. The only hope is that the oil in the diff will stir up spray oil into the axles and keep the axles lubricated. Yeah, Jamie, it's Glen. I'm travelling from Albany. We've done our 2 rear seals on our...
Glen's been given the phone number of somebody who may be able to help us. So he's on the phone at the moment with his legs and fingers crossed.
Well, when we took off this morning, we actually heard audible bearing noises. We thought they were, and Guy actually was doing some recording, and we may have actually recorded the bearing noises. We may not, we don't know. Anyway, but then they tell us that the problem was due to a blocked diff breather, which makes me wonder what those noises were, because we thought that the noises were from dry bearings, but then they're saying no, it's not the
He
case.
did say that with a blocked breather you may get build up, or you'll get build up of pressure, and the only way to release it could have been through the oil seals on the diff, on the axles.
I accept
So it
that.
could have been that, you know, the rubber going and rubbing.
Okay, that's possible. I don't know. I've never heard that before.
Nor have I.
And I would have expected it to happen yesterday when we were running hot, because we were driving a lot yesterday. I didn't hear it once yesterday. But we're only 150 k's from Port Augusta, and so we're going to at least try that. Because we've got a campsite that I like near Port Augusta, and I guess it doesn't matter if we stay there for 2 days. Well, we'll probably do 1 day there and then move on to Gawler. Anyway, we'll be keeping an eye on the wheels, I can promise you that.
And listening. So tea's prepared, ready to just be heated. And while I've been slaving away over a cold pot, look what Glen's been up to.
Good grief. I think he actually expects some sympathy for cooking tea. Once.
No, I expect sympathy for being with you.
Oh.
Just like you expect sympathy for being with me.
So this is Lochiel in South Australia. I've gone past here a million times, never actually stopped to film it. But last time we were in this very same spot, we ended up having to be taken away by a tow truck. This time we were able to roll on our own two wheels, but we've elected to go to the very person who actually took us away on the truck. His name's Ray McCracken. Seems like an excellent bloke, and so we're going to get him to do the repairs. Guy thought he'll do you something nice today. He's wiped down the car, but just for the record, he's washed down his side of it. But he didn't wash my side. He's left my side looking filthy.
I would have, but you were saying...
Yeah, I said I'd rather not wipe it because of the fact it will damage the paintwork. I'd rather squirt it with, you know, a car wash. But the damage is done. He's already wiped it and he might as well done the whole lot, but he didn't. So there you go, it's on film. Further to my previous comment, he is now...
I was forced to.
Yes, yes.
Guilt plays a giant part in this.
Undeniably, it does look better for his efforts.
I can only do a little.
You know, I was saying to him, I'd take it to a car wash and squirt it. That is my way. But I mean, look at the difference between where he's wiped it and where he hasn't wiped it. You can see it certainly is a lot cleaner. So this is the Balaclava Community Garden where they grow vegetables. It's open to the public. You can just walk right in there. Vegetables growing openly. Right next to that is a playground. There's a BMX track. Over there there's a children's adventure playground. You've got a skating rink, and then we have what used to be a squash court. It's now the caravan park, and there's our vehicle right there, and this is where we're staying currently. It's just an open caravan park. There's no fencing or anything. Pretty much anyone could camp here. In fact, I can see someone's got a swag over there. But yeah, the thing is that it's actually not entirely unpleasant. I mean, it's only $10 a night here. All things considered, not bad.
And here we are, leaving the beautiful town of Balaclava. And there's the man.
Feeling much happier, although significantly poorer now, but yeah, at least I'm confident that we'll be alright now. Well, my confidence was misplaced. It turns out we had more than one symptom at the same time. Yes, the rear seals have blown, and yes, the bearings did need to be replaced, but the noises that we're hearing appear to be some other problem. We suspect it's the front wheel bearings. I guess it makes sense that they both go at the same time. Anyway, now we have to sit and wait until we can get it repaired on Monday. In the meantime, I can think of worse places to be stuck. For many people, Port Perrin is a holiday destination. Not so much for us. But I decided to have a crack at fishing, and as you can see, the tide's gone out at the moment. But even when the tide was in, I cast my line as far as I could, and then some seagulls decided to investigate my bait, and they were standing in barely 2 inches of water. I realised at that point there's no point trying to fish here.
Here we have one of the very few remaining phone boxes.
Yeah, red capped Telstra phone box.
Yeah.
It is naturally.
And you hear that wind? That's the wind of doom coming upon it. But look, extends it or something. Oh,
The ringtone.
oh. Now that's something you don't hear every day.
We've been watching TV on our portable little TV for most of this journey, most nights, and it's been quite cold. But then suddenly it dawned on me that we could be sitting in the back of Effie. And look at the room.
What are you doing, Glenn?
Pouring myself a orange beverage.
While sitting in his luxurious camper cinema. Yeah, this is the height of laziness. Look at him. He doesn't have to get out of his little cocoon.
It's my sleep-in pole. It means I don't have to get out of bed to find out whether or not Guy's got up.
So, did you sleep well last night?
No, but I was actually asleep when you open the door
Oh, I'm sorry.
or close the door, whatever. It's one of those deep sleeps where I was having a bit of a...
And here's Glen wanting to know what's written on the panels, because at the shopping centre there is a vast array of panels which they're using to double as shelter. Old Parliament House.
Yes, this would qualify as a place of learning.
What?
Yeah.
Brain salad surgery.
Not to draw from our mind and actually see what's in front of us. Because everybody knows that a bucket is taller than it is wide, generally speaking. But depending on what angle you're sitting at, you might find that your bucket grows into a perfect square. So just bear that in mind. So that's basically how we create our framework. So your decision to start is, I like the way you told me just to start with a bucket. I think that's best, and then we can kind of progress from there. When you are drawing, is to mapping out how wide you want it and then adding your height to the relation. Does that make sense? I like you to try and draw reasonably large, no throwing drawings. When we do measure, we're looking for the extremes of these two measurements of height and width. So you're looking at where is the absolute widest point, and you want that with an ellipsis, for example, it's the very edges in the centre point is generally the very widest point. Does that make sense? Yeah? No? So say that's our width. When we're thinking of worthy.
Yeah, can you tell them apart? They're twins. Yeah, your long lost rally. You did.
My girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah.
We won't tell you what the pig's doing.
So we're sitting in, well, I'm sitting in Ian's place, spare room. It's not all that late actually, according to the clock. It's 8:25 Western Australian time. So about 9:30, well, so 10 o'clock over here. But I'm having a little trouble sleeping because the vehicle's finally fixed. We're well, tomorrow should be a good day because tomorrow we're going to do a bit of the stuff that we're going to do when we're coming over, and we'll probably camp at Kynecutter. But I'm thinking about the fact that, you know, I miss Marina, and but it's going to be another 4 days before I get home. More if we do any more adventurous stuff, but in a way, I mean, it's not fair on Guy for me to cut the journey short because I miss Marina. But
So young Glen on the road again, heading west.
Yes, it's, I guess one could say the first day of the day home, of the trip home. And to be honest, I lost a lot of sleep last night worrying about it because we had been through so much. And I should be happy, I should be ecstatic because everything should be alright. But in the back of my mind, I'm always suspicious about what might still be wrong. After all, it's not been smooth sailing. But I am looking forward to getting to the campsite tonight because, to be honest, I didn't sleep at all well at Ian's place, so it'd be good to get to the campsite.
Well, feeling as welcome as a Vart in the vicarage didn't help, did it?
Yeah, that's true.
So you really got to stop here and walk down
I guess
to view those things properly. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well. And here we are in Corn.
Yep, count the pubs. We've got one here, 2, 3, 4, fifth one's just over there, so 4 pubs on the main street.
Oh, look at, they even got a copper. Though he looks more like a bronzed Anzac. Whoa.
2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's 5 on this street. I thought it would be 4 on this street.
Yeah, what I need's a pizzeria.
Why do you think
Or a McDonald's then.
so? Fish and chips in paper, $8.
we've come to Corn because Corn is famous for the fact that it's always had 5 pubs, 4 in the main street, another one in the back street. 5 pubs in a town that hasn't even got a supermarket. But now it turns out that, well, at least one of the pubs is now closed, so we don't have quite as many pubs as we used to have, but you can see that there's still quite a bit of character here, you know, from, they say it hasn't changed since the 1800s, but certainly an amazing town anyway. We've spent a bit of time in the local pub here talking to the publican. Beer keg seats, but are they metric or imperial kegs?
They're more than likely imperial, that's what I've used them.
This would have been one of the many bridges that we worked on back in the 80s, restoring the Pitcherichi Pass. Doesn't look like much, I know, but when you're up there on a ladder trying to restore that paintwork, a little bit challenging. This whole area is absolutely beautiful. Practically everywhere we look, just gorgeous. I mean, even over here, just those rock formations down there. Beautiful. Clearly.
But despite what's happened, you know, the negative versus the positive, from my perspective, the positive far outweighs the negative. You're coming at it from a totally different angle because of the expense you've incurred, I think, more than anything, and the worry.
Yes.
So
yes.
therefore, you've got to have a totally different, not totally, but a very different view.
Okay, so yeah, needless to say, we've been through the mill, but today we started off quite early, and I mean it's ridiculous. I hate to say it, but Ian's house is actually very, very noisy. I hardly got any sleep at all last night. I don't know how Guy fared in the backyard. I didn't do so good in the house. So anyway, we started off very early this morning. I was going to wait till Ian got up so I could say goodbye to him. In the end, I wrote him a note, and we headed off. We put in a good day. I mean, we are now currently about 25 k's from Kyne. It's a campsite which we have used before. Unfortunately, this also happens to be the campsite that we actually discovered we had a problem on the way over. So this was the very spot where the troubles all began, and here we are back again. But this time with a better attitude, because this time everything appears to be fixed. So we are much better. I'd love to ring Marina and give her the good news, but we're out of range, predictably. So anyway, I'll deal with that when we get to Ceduna, which is only like a couple of hours up the road tomorrow. So yeah, we put in a good day today, and we're well and truly on our way.
And today we went to that beautiful pub that you took a little bit of footage of, and the barman there,
nice bloke as well. Yeah.
A really, really genuine, what a country barman should be, and his wife was a lovely lass too.
Yep. And they'd only taken the pub over 2 days ago.
Yeah, I reckon they'll make a go of it. I don't know what the other pubs were like in town, but just on what I saw, I would go back there before I would go to one of the other pubs. Because $8 for fish and chips. That was lovely. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have to do any dishes afterwards.
Listen to him.
He's been making me do dishes. I suppose he's been doing the cooking.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't for 3 meals.
That's true. That's true. And for the sake of the camera, Guy also paid for that meal. So while Guy was off getting the firewood, I actually got the fire going. We're almost down at the coal stage. We're almost ready to cook. We're doing okay. Everything's. We've even got cold beer, and thankfully, because today's been quite warm, even with the air conditioner on the vehicle, you could feel the heat. But we got through that okay. That was easy. We've put in a good day again, like we did yesterday, and we're now at the border. We're 10 k's from the border, and our fire's almost ready to cook on. So, all things considered, we're doing okay.
Here we go.
Truth is that
Good look.
Guy has injured himself again collecting firewood. And you can see the chucks here, but I've washed his leg with whiskey to try to sterilise it.
That's just to keep the flies.
And he's now put that on there to keep the flies off, which is a good idea actually, although I would have thought the whiskey would stop the bleeding.
It has, it's just the flies.
Yeah, anyway. Well, one night here, and we'll be home tomorrow.
sunrise of the last day.
Well, good morning. It's the last morning. I don't know if you can hear or not, but the birds are singing out there. It's beautiful. This is without a doubt best time of day. It's beautiful, the air's fresh, it's crisp. We've been hearing a few trains here. I actually quite like that. There's another spot we'd like to park near Port Augusta. Trains come through about every hour, here about every 2 hours. But trains today are not like they used to be. They're actually very quiet. But I love the whooshing sound as they go through. It's and they're very long trains too. Very soothing when you're lying in bed at night. Bit of well, just a personal thing. Anyway, like I say, it's the last morning and guy's already up. It's probably about 5:30, if that. But then that's fairly normal when you're camping. The result is we tend to go to bed earlier to compensate, so that's all good. Anyway, yeah, I've got a reasonable drive ahead of me today, about 7 hours. That's what I did yesterday. It took more like 8, 9. I mean, every time we stop for lunch, it gets longer. So, you know, and I stopped for several times for coffee. That's okay, I suppose. That means, though, that given the time of day it is, we should be back in Albany about mid-afternoon. That's not a bad run. On the motorbikes, I felt like, you know, doing a short day like this was like having a day off, but really and truly, it's not going to be a day off at all. In fact, it seems to take a lot longer than you expect it to. But anyway, not much to pack up, luckily. So we'll be on the road soon. Bit of coffee, bit of breakfast, and we're off. Or maybe just stay in bed. Oh.
There you go. Last morning, started packing up the tent. Glen's making the coffee. It's nearly over.
Yep.
Told him he should have turned right at that intersection, not left. That way we could stretch it out a little more. Problem is, we've got people that we've got to answer to. No, we don't. What are we on about? But you know, every good thing must come to an end so that you can look forward to the next one. If you really want to go travelling, you could not ask for a better person to go with than this twit.
Hello.
He knows his onions. He's not too good on beans, etc., but onions he knows.
Well, there's the Esperance Jetty, Bay of Isles. Absolutely beautiful. If I wasn't living in Albany, I think this would be a very nice place to live, quite honestly. I mean, even the hotels are pleasant to look at. And there's some old bloke walking around in a kilt.
Well, that's Wellstead gone.
Yeah, mean and gone.
Yeah, you out the front by any chance?
It's a bizarre way to make a film, and then you can actually hear it. It's a bizarre way to make a film.
The joys of the editing, sweet.
No, I'm not trying to show off Guy's sexy legs. He's been in the bush collecting firewood, and unfortunately he's injured himself again. Look, he's even got injury on his hand as well. But
Oh, that stings!
of course it does. Let's see some of the other injuries. He's got to get to the healing, but he's had quite a few injuries during this journey.
It's because I listened to you and they throw it on the ground first. And
Well,
and
yeah,
there we go.
yeah. Throw it on the ground, but don't throw it at yourself.
I didn't. I threw it over there and it went.
You notice, I don't get. This is the mine ones. You know, the good, healthy.
Yeah.
Because here we have the picture of health. This is where I'll be sleeping tonight because the engine will keep me warm.
Methinks you're bending your knees.
No, just for you, I spread on my legs.
But you don't need to, because even standing there like that, you can see this thing is bloody huge.
So, now, computer's working, beer's out, table's out. Where are the chairs? No, I'm not gonna. And is tea cooked yet?